let's get to restaurants part 3. We did 2 other installments of this where we're going through classic restaurants that don't exist anymore, or at least not in the capacity that they used to exist. Some of these you may know, some of these we're learning about for the first time because they were regionally expanded. Like they're like, oh, this one had 150 locations. Yeah, but it was all on the West Coast, so everybody out here wouldn't know what it is. Or it's down south in the Midwest, those kind of things. So the starting it off today, it's not Bob Evans, but it is Bob's Big Boy.
Bob's Big Boy.
With its memorable statues, Bob's Big Boy was known as one of America's iconic symbols of the 20th century. It was founded by Bob Wayne in Southern California in 1936 and was originally called Bob's Pantry. When it was still popular, Bob's Big Boy boasted more than 200 different locations across America. Bob's Big Boy, aside from the statue, Bob Wayne was also responsible for creating the original double-decker hamburger, which included 2 patties and a bun sliced into 3. These days, you can find the 80s Big Bob. These days, you can still find 80 Bob's Big Boys burger joints operational. Most of them are in Michigan, with a few in Southern California. I've never been to a Bob's Big Boy. I've never actually seen one in person, like even driven past it.
Really, I've seen them, but I've never been in one.
Yeah, I don't think they were ever in the Northeast.
No, I vaguely remember it, and I do think it was in like Southern California, like not LA, but like the outlying areas,
right?
Deserty type shit.
Well, I got a couple commercials, old commercials for you, if you would care to look at. That's what we do here.
He has his own pop figure, Bob's.
Yeah, I have it somewhere over there. I had a whole series of fast food and food branded Funko Pops, which I think I'm just gonna sell because it was nice to collect for a while, but I collected too many things, so I'm trying to get rid of a lot of stuff. All right, here's Bob's Big Boy commercial from the early 1980s.
Sir, if I describe Bob's new breakfast special, do you think you could guess the price? Of course. You start with juice.
You know who that was?
Is that Joe Isuzu?
It is Joe Isuzu. David Leisure.
Sausage or bacon, and French toast or hotcakes. It's called Bob's Breakfast Bonanza. Now, what do you think it costs? Easy. $3.50. Try $1.99. $1.99? $1.99? Hey kid, how can you do it for $1.99? Sir, he can't talk. Sorry.
Joe Isuzu, if you're not familiar with him, that's that actor David Leisure there. He was all over the place for these Isuzu car ads, but he's that perfect kind of guy where he's just smug and he's like the finger.
Right ways.
He's the finger pointer kind of guy. He walks in the room, hey, how are you? Like that kind of thing. He was also the neighbor on that spin-off show of Golden Girls called Empty Nest.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
With Richard Mulligan and Christy McNichol, or Kat, I think that was her name. He was their neighbor. Like they lived next door to the Golden Girls, and then he was their neighbor. So he lived on the other side of the house, and he was there all the time. He was a big deal for no reason in the 80s into the early 90s.
But kind of like Flo from Progressive or whatever. It's like, am I supposed to be impressed just because she's everywhere all the time?
Right.
Like, what did she do aside from that commercial? She got lucky. She got a national campaign.
That is true. She did get lucky. There's another Bob's Big Boy commercial here. And I've noticed a lot of the older commercials have nothing to do with the actual Big Boy statue. You think that would be front and center. Like McDonald's, they don't do it anymore, but Ronald McDonald used to be front and center, and you'd have his big statues in front of McDonald's all the time, so he was always the focus of their ads. A lot of their old ads, Bob's Big Boy statue is not part of it. It was just a fixture for outside. And he's the he is the influence for that character or symbol on The Simpsons. It's a combination of Bob's Big Boys and Randy's Donuts, I think is the one in LA that has the big giant donut. Mm-hmm. So he's called Lard Lad, and they're for Lard Lad Donuts. So it's Bob's Big Boy holding a big giant donut in his hand, like that. Yeah. So they ripped off both iconic landmarks and put them together as a character. That's
pretty cool. He comes alive in one of the episodes, right? Like
one of the Treehouse of Horrors, where all the ads come alive and start killing everybody.
Yeah.
Fun times. All right, here's another one. Where's the volume? There we go.
Thank you. Would you get me the manager?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
I'm the manager.
Oh, that was fast.
Is something wrong?
Oh, no, I'm crazy about your Big Boy restaurant. I come here all the time for breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Then what?
It's just like Mom would do it at home. I can sit down at a table. There are real plates and silverware.
Well, that's just one of the reasons why Big Boy is America's biggest family of full-service restaurants.
Yeah, and your waitresses are helpful and friendly.
Thank you.
My mom would love all the choices on your menu.
Well, and everything is cooked up fresh.
Yeah, well, I just love it here at Big Boy because you've done exactly what my mother would do.
Well, thank you.
Except for one or two teensy things.
What's that?
Would you,
Oh, my. All right.
Cut real small and don't let the meat touch the potatoes. That's fine. It's good.
Yeah, like he comes off as like mildly weird until the end. And then it's just like, get away.
Okay, open the hanger and Mr. Potato will fly right in.
Oh, goody.
It was a proud day.
He reminds me of Chevy Chase in his delivery.
Yeah, a little bit. Almost kind of Fletch. I do miss the days where they really were creative. Like, as terrible as that ad was, there was some creativity to it. You know, they put in these weird little personas. They'd have like full ballads and jingles and everything. They don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Everything's flash quick with logos and just, here's our QR code to get our app, and you can do this and go to order at Taco Bell now. And it's like, you used to have the dog, you used to have the big gong, they would run for the border, bang, like that, all that stuff. Nothing. They don't put any effort into this shit anymore.
Well, have you seen the Applebee's Top Gun tie-in commercials?
No.
Yeah, you got to check one of them out because it's one of those things where it's like, this has absolutely nothing to do with Top Gun, and at the end with the whole like eating good in the neighborhood, it's like there's like a sonic boom from one of the jets, and like, now that's eating good in the neighborhood. It's like, what does that even fucking mean?
All right, hold on, I think I found it. All right, yeah, we're gonna look at the Top Gun Applebee. It's Top Gun Maverick for the new movie. Applebee's grill commercial here. Okay, here we go.
Tower, this is Ghost Rider requesting flyby. Negative, Ghost Rider. The pattern is full. Having any fun yet?
Now that's eating good in the neighborhood.
That I wouldn't eat there if the place was constantly shaking like that.
Yeah, that's what I said to Mary Beth. I was like, why isn't anyone complaining about like these sonic booms over this Applebee's? Like, people are like, oh, that Maverick, him.
Guys, I would have been pissed. The guy dropped his, I guess it was it ribs or wings?
Like wings,
like right?
Wing sauce.
You drop everything over there. It's like, I'm not paying for this. Get me another plate. I just waited half an hour for this fucking thing. Get me another plate. The glasses that are hanging like old bars do from the ceiling, those racks where they're upside down so they can dry, they're all shaking. Stuff's falling on the ground. The guy just lifts his beer. Like, oh, this is just how it normally is here at Applebee's. Holding his fucking pint glass up. And
isn't it the sloppiest editing though? Like where they have a license to take a couple shots, not too many, probably not certain ones,
right?
And like, we'll just intercut with people eating at an Applebee's, and then we'll say eating good in the neighborhood. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood. No, it's not.
And why is this
It seems
plane
terrible.
Why is this military plane flying so low in a residential area? It shouldn't be anywhere near this. But even that, I mean, it's a step in the right direction for going back to when they put more story into their ads and creativity. But yeah, you're right. It's horribly executed. It's pretty lazy.
Yeah.
So all right, let's go to the next one here. The next one is called Royal Castle. I don't know Royal Castle here. Where's the list? Royal Castle. Royal Castle was a hamburger restaurant chain based in Miami, Florida. It was founded by William Singer in 1938 and was popular for its miniature hamburgers, similar to the ones by White Castle. Now, we've been finding, as we go through this, there's so many places that steal White Castle's idea blatantly. Remember, there was White Castle, and then I think the first one we found out that it was White Tower.
White Tower.
And it looked almost exactly the same. And then there's we find out about crystals later on, which still exist. Pretty much the same concept as White Castle. And then there's a bunch on this list that we're not going to go into that are just these little mini knockoff places that are all just ripping off White Castle. And eventually they either got sued or were absorbed by White Castle. So Royal Castle here. At its prime, the chain grew to more than 175 locations all throughout Florida, Ohio, Georgia, and Louisiana, most of them being in Miami. The restaurant's motto was "Fit for a King." By 1970, Royal Castle started losing its fire due to heavy competition with monster competitors such as McDonald's and Burger King. The company decided to close all of their locations except for one that's still holding out in Miami. So, couldn't find a TV commercial for it, but I found this little 1 minute or so little mini documentary about what Royal Castle was.
It was a proud day. Founder Bill Singer opened his 100th Royal Castle in 1962. Started in 1938 for 1,000 borrowed dollars, he never again had to borrow money to expand. When he sold out in 1969 for $15 million, there were 175 restaurants in 3 states. Hamburgers cost 15 cents, up from a nickel in 1938, and the chain was one of the food industry's finest. But today, this scene has become common as more and more of the stores have closed. The new owners and stockholders agreed to a liquidation. The chain either could not or would not meet the challenge of the newer fast food operations. Only 40 Royal Castles are doing business now, 15 in Miami. Some have become other restaurants. Others are banks or savings and loan offices, or whatever their new owners want them to be. Except for civic duties, Bill Singer is now retired. He hasn't been in a Royal Castle since 1969, and he isn't happy with what's happened.
It is very difficult to maintain quality in the restaurant business. You've got to work at it. We worked at it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's something that you can't neglect, and they didn't have the organization that had the interest in it that we did. There's a certain emotional interest you develop for that. For example, I never would have sold a location, regardless of how many dollars were involved. The first thing they started to do is sell off the higher priced locations and make a profit on the real estate. I wouldn't have sold at any price if I had a profitable store. It was like my children. You don't sell your children. I had an emotional attachment to each of these. I personally selected each of these locations.
Sold it for $15 million.
If plans go as expected, there will be no more Royal Castles here or anywhere by this summer. They will have been all sold.
Oh my God, it is.
For the owners of the system right now, it will have been just another business deal. But for those who grew up in restaurants like this, it's another tradition that is gone. Ike Siemens, Channel 4 News.
All right.
How do I know I like?
You know what I want to do? I want to start something with 1,000 borrowed dollars and sell out for $15 million.
I was just gonna say that. It's like, I wouldn't have sold it had I known what they were gonna do with it. They're not gonna tell you what they're gonna do with it. That's not part of the deal. Unless you put that into the deal in the works. It's like, you need to keep this restaurant open and maintain it for the next 5 years, doing this. If that's in the agreement, then they got to do that. But you didn't have that in the agreement. And you made $15 million when you borrowed $1,000 to start from the beginning. So you were already in debt and came out 1,000,000% ahead.
Yeah, you're doing all right.
And he's like,
it's funny. It's like restaurants are like my children. If I was one of his kids, I'd be like, really? I don't mean a little bit more.
Yeah. But also, it's like, had I known they were doing that, I never would sell that. Restaurants are my children. You don't know what they're going to do. They saw an opportunity. It's like, look, for $15 million, we can buy this franchise or this whole operation. The real estate alone in these places are, and this is, Florida up and coming, will go for millions. So that $15 million was a drop in a bucket to a lot of these people when they sold it for real estate.
Yeah.
So they saw something you didn't, and you're talking about, well, they didn't have the ability to maintain the restaurants. Maybe they didn't want to maintain the restaurants. They're like, let's just let it sink, and then we sell off the place for a massive profit for the real estate. And that's probably what they did.
Well, they said most of them were in Miami, so I mean, I can't imagine what that land goes for.
And you're like, I'm upset. I can't believe they didn't keep it going. You don't have a say in that anymore. You've sold it for $15 million. It's no longer your concern. You can be upset, like that's a shame, but then go and do it again.
Yeah.
Go start all over again. Or go use the 15 and buy it back. Don't know what to tell you.
Either way, you got 15 million. That's more than you need. So just shut up.
Yeah,
let people do what they want.
In the late 60s, early 70s, you have $15 million. You don't have to worry about anything again. Just go live your life. Oh, well, you're already in Florida, so go retire. Where do people in Florida retire to?
So the more southern Florida, I don't know, maybe Cuba.
Yeah, they got a house in Barbados or in the Bahamas or something. Just go live your life. Stop being, I'm a businessman. I got to keep working. No, you don't.
Yeah, who
that mentality's gone now. All right, moving on. The next place is called Pup N Taco, like N apostrophe.
N Taco.
Pup and Taco. So Pup and Taco started in Southern California and specialized in tacos, hot dogs, and pastrami sandwiches. That's not a bad combination. In 1965, the first branch opened in Pasadena. In 1973, just a few years after, they blossomed to a total of 62 chains statewide. Pup and Taco was known for having spots in prime locations, which helped bring in the customers. Unfortunately, this also became their undoing. Pup and Taco, the high real estate prices overwhelmed the company, which eventually sold out to Taco Bell in 1984. Some of the last remaining franchise locations flipped their names to Pop and Taco. So you went from Pup and Taco to Pop and Taco. Whoop-de-doo. Like, right. What did that do for you?
That's a strange combination. Hot dogs and tacos.
Yeah.
And what was the other one? Pastrami
sandwiches. Look, I wouldn't. If there was a place that existed like that now, I'd probably give them my business, because sometimes you feel like a taco. Maybe you want all three. I'll go with a pastrami sandwich. I'll go with everything else here. I want all of it. You never really hear of a pastrami sandwich in a fast food restaurant chain menu offering.
You normally never see it outside of a diner or a deli.
Yeah. But let's see what Pup and Taco, what their TV ads were all
see
like.
What they're up to.
How do I know I like it?
Trust me, I found you turtle, didn't I?
But I've never been here before.
Yeah, but I have.
Smack that kid.
You little piece of shit.
Oh, how good Pup and Taco can be. You're gonna love the way we make the things you like to eat. So come on into Pup and Taco and give your tummy a treat.
Can we come back tomorrow?
Pup and Taco.
I'm giving you up for adoption someday.
How do I know
Like, yeah, I'm giving up for adoption. Why? How do I know I like you? Kick the kid out of the car while it's still moving. They also had animated. Apparently, their big push, their big advertising push, wasn't even the commercials like that. They had a whole series of like 10-second animated shorts that they that they bought fairly cheap, because sometimes when a network or back in those days, just you had your basic networks, NBC, ABC, CBS, or local channels. They would have a commercial break. Sometimes it wouldn't be long enough. A lot of ads are usually 30 seconds to a minute, and it wouldn't be long enough. So they used to sell these 10-second spots to fill in the gaps in these ad breaks to round out, to fill in the time. So pretty smart to do it that way, because you never really see 10-second bumpers for advertisements like that.
Yeah.
So they made a whole series of animated advertisements to promote what they were selling here.
Here's our famous Pup and Taco Chili Burger. Mustard, pickle, tomato, chili, and an all-beef patty. Delicious. Just 69 cents.
Like that. That's all it is. So if you had that playing, and then all of a sudden, we're now back to the $1 Million Movie on ABC. It's like, oh, makes sense. It was the last thing I was thinking. It's like, fuck the $1 Million Movie. I think I want to go get chili tacos.
Yeah, and it's far more it's far more tolerable than the kid fucking whining.
Yeah.
And if I don't like it,
and then the
shut
kid winds
the fuck up.
Kid winds up working there because the father won't pay for college.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sorry. You don't know what it's like to live with this kid for so many years. It's like,
whether you like it or not is incidental. You're fucking working here.
Could I get ketchup added to that hamburger? We don't make it that way. All right. Shoot this kid.
That was back in the day when you could probably work when you were 14 too. I remember being able to work in a restaurant when I was 14.
The good old days.
Yeah.
I will say this though, they did kind of glamorize working in fast food and these kind of jobs in the movies from the 70s and 80s.
Oh yeah.
They're all in California, but they all looked like they had fun. Like everyone was like, "Oh, I gotta go." Even like in Fast Times when he had to dress up like the pirate for I forgot what delivery place he was working for. But, like he looked like...
that pirate place?
Yeah, he looked terrible. But anybody else that had to work these jobs all looked like they had fun working these food jobs in California. And you're like, oh, that looks kind of cool. It looks like that's what they did because none of them had social lives.
Now you got me wondering what the name of that place was.
I don't remember the pirate. I remember the other place. There was an All-American Burger.
It was All-American Burger, but then he quit.
He quit. Wasn't it a pizza place or something, or a chicken place that he was doing delivery for?
I can't recall. I thought it was seafood because he's dressed as a pirate.
Might be.
I remember, like he has like a weird pirate hat on or something. Unless I'm totally misremembering the situation.
Let's see. He was working for Captain Hook Fish and Chips.
Okay.
Interesting. All right, moving on. We have Yankee Doodle Dandy. Yankee Doodle Dandy first opened in 1966 and was founded by business brothers Chris and Bill Preuss. After 10 years, their restaurant started to explode in the Chicago area. The chain reached 27 locations in its prime, and most of them were franchised. Yankee Doodle Dandy was well known for its red, white, and blue motifs, and as the name suggested, it depicted the perfect American burger. After a while, the brothers wanted to get out of the fast food business and decided to pursue another restaurant idea. Slowly, the chain started dying until the last one finally closed. In 1988, the brothers opened up 4 of their own casual dining restaurants called Bailey's Restaurant and Bar. I've never heard of a Yankee Doodle Dandy. I don't think it's ever been in the East Coast. 27 locations is probably just all Illinois, maybe Indiana or something like that. But I found some ads here. So there's 2 of them, I think. One's a food thing, and one's about... No, the other one's for another restaurant. Never mind, I misread the list here. All right, here we are, Yankee Doodle Dandies.
Guess what's cooking now at Yankee Doodle Dandy? Chicken. Crispy fried chicken, plum pieces fresh, never frozen, twice dipped in our special seasonings, then deep fried so it's tender, juicy, and delicious to go or eat in for lunch or dinner. Try crispy fried chicken from Yankee Doodle Dandy.
It's all Yankee Doodle Dandy, Yankee Doodle Dandy. Come on down where the good times are. Yankee Doodle Dandy, Yankee Doodle Dandy.
Beautiful Mount Airy Lodge.
Guess what's cooking now at Yankee?
Yeah, we're more than just hamburgers. Don't forget.
Yeah.
Mom, does
people should know that already.
Yeah.
Or you shouldn't have to tell them.
Yeah, it's usually when they start expanding out. Like, they're known for hamburgers, all this stuff. Well, now we're introducing fried chicken. For some reason, it doesn't work with a lot of fast food places when you start introducing other items that aren't what you're known for. Yeah. And then that's usually sort of the decline of your business at that point. It's like, we're now ordering, we offered fried seafood. It's like, this is a burger place. Yeah, but now you can get grilled, like fried catfish and shrimp and all these other things. It's like, I'm not going to the burger place for fast food. Just do your fast food better. Stop adding all this other shit to it.
Yeah, stick with one thing or a couple things.
Like Roy Rogers. Remember when Roy Rogers was still around? What was Roy Rogers known for?
They're known for their roast beef sandwiches.
And
is that it?
Chicken.
And chicken, yeah.
Yeah. And then they had burgers and everything else too, and then they just kind of disappeared. At least from this area. I think there's a couple down in the mid-Atlantic region. But, when they start expanding past that, I guess Roy Rogers couldn't compete with, like, Arby's for the roast beef sandwich stuff.
Yeah, I remember going to a Roy Rogers and getting a roast beef sandwich and being totally disgusted by it. Like, I think I've only been to one once in my life.
Yeah. I used to love the Fixins bar, because if you get a burger there...
That's right.
They had the Fixins bar, and I would just steal cups of pickles. Just pouring all the pickle chips into little cups and taking them with me. It's like, it was worth it, just for the Fixins bar. I do have, I thought it was for another restaurant. It is for this. So there's a Yankee Doodle Dandy ad for having your kid's birthday party there.
Ooh.
This was from 1976.
Mom doesn't want me to have a birthday party at home this year, because last year Timmy broke her best lamp. Rats.
Hey, kiddo.
Me?
Yeah. How about a birthday party at Yankee Doodle Dandy? It's a lot of fun. The gang can even eat from the Yankee Doodle Dandy menu. Hamburgers, Cokes, and fries for just $1 a child. We'll even furnish the crazy hats, coloring books, and a cake. All the fun's on us. And Mom will like it too, because we'll clean up after the fun. Just stop in at the Yankee Doodle Dandy near you to arrange for your best birthday ever.
Yeah, sounds like it, right?
So what's your wife going to do when the kid breaks her best lamp? As is a problem, I guess. And
he broke her best lamp, and then he just goes, rats. It's not even rats. It's rat. It's like, do you know the other whiny kid from Pup and Taco? Are you two friends? What region are you guys from with these horrible accents? But those kids did not look like they were having a good time.
Weren't they the worst pictures?
Yeah.
It's like, like kids are just like looking at stuff. Like nobody's smiling. Nobody's having a great time.
That's that scenario where you think it's important for your kid to have a birthday party. You have to invite all their classmates. Like you can do that in elementary school because they only have one class. So you have to invite all their classmates to the party. So it's like, oh, it's 23 kids, 26 kids here. And for $1 a child, you get all this stuff here. It's like all those kids, most of those kids probably don't like this kid. It's like, why don't? It's like, he's annoying. He says words weird, and I have to go to his party. Now you're
stuff
wearing
like rants.
Yeah, you're wearing these fucking like Paul Revere style hats, and they're just sitting there like, the place doesn't look very like lit. It's very dim. A lot of dark wood furniture. It's probably like old pizzeria furniture where it's curved and there's no give. There's no comfort.
Yeah.
You're just sitting on hard surfaces with terrible food.
And they opened in 76?
No, they opened in... Let's see, Yankee Doodle Dandies opened in 1966.
66.
So this is... that commercial was 10 years later. Yeah, and then it's like, then the following Monday, Timmy got the shit kicked out of him for a terrible birthday party that they were all forced to go to. They wanted to go see the new Star Wars movie, but no, they had to go have cold hamburgers with the kid who can't pronounce words right.
Yeah, go with fucking Timmy and his fucking lampless mother.
Yeah. Fuck him. All right, moving on. So there's this restaurant chain called Doggy Diner. Now, Doggy Diner had no TV ads that at least I was aware of, but they were known for having this... Where's the photo? I just closed out of it. Whoops. It was known for having these giant dog heads on top of the restaurant. Like, I don't know why that would be a selling gimmick. It seems very expensive. Doesn't seem very cost efficient. But it's what they did. Here, I'll show it to you here. Look at that.
Oh, nice. Doggy Diner. That looks like something you would see in L.A.
Yeah. Doggy Diner was iconic for its trademark mascot, the Dachshund. Dachshund was also who also happens to be dressed as a chef in a hat and cute bow tie. It originally started out as a small chain in restaurants in San Francisco and Oakland. As you may have assumed, they specialized in hamburgers and hot dogs. Doggy Diner, from its inception in 1948 under the guiding hand of founder Al Ross, Doggy Diner quickly started spreading through the area. In 1986, the chain closed, but the mascot has remained as part of local pop culture up until this day. So, apparently, from what I'm hearing, those dog heads just are on top of buildings that don't exist with the restaurant anymore.
Right.
But they
like,
left the heads there.
Let's just leave them there.
Yeah. I guess that's kind of cool. If you drove around and saw that, like, especially like now, like, what is the fuck? What's that dog head? It seems to be all over the place and nobody knows. Like, it's been so far removed. A lot of people have forgotten the lore of what that place was, and so they just make stuff up.
It's a relatively short amount of time to be open, only 20 years.
Yeah. But not all of them last.
Yeah. Well, it's because everybody sells the same shit.
Yeah, that's true. It's like, well, they're doing those hamburgers. Well, we're going to do hamburgers with hot dogs. Okay.
Throw a taco in there while we're at it.
I wish more places did hot dogs. Not enough places sell hot dogs.
It's not easy to get a good hot dog unless you're like...
You find a Nathan's in a mall somewhere, like in a food court. But there's really no... on the Jersey Shore, there's a place called Windmills that sells really oversized hot dogs.
Just a Windmill yesterday.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Got me a hot dog.
Quite envious. Those are delicious. But you never find a regular chain anywhere that sells hot dogs. Like, for some reason, hot dogs seem to be verboten. And I don't understand why. Unless you want to go to a 7-Eleven, but who wants a 7-Eleven hot dog?
Yeah, like you got to pick them off those rolling steel things that keep them hot all day.
Yeah.
Or at least lukewarm.
Yeah.
Or at least whatever the legal temperature is that they have to keep them.
Or if that.
Yeah.
You know, the inspector's not around this month. Back to 30 degrees you go. All right, moving on. We've got I'm guessing it's Valleys. Valle. Seems to be I guess that's the name. Valley's Steakhouse. Valley's Steakhouse was considered revolutionary during its time. In 1933, loyal customers were offered the famous surf and turf meal for a fairly low price when it was opened by Don Valley. It eventually became popular and expanded to more and more locations throughout the 1970s. According to rumors, the downfall started when Valley Steakhouse grew too ambitious for their expansion. To make matters worse, there was an oil crisis that caused many economic problems. Sadly, in the year 2000, the last location closed in Portland, Oregon. This seems to also be the curse of chains from the 60s and 70s. They start doing well, so they like, oh, let's take all our profits and just open 100 more, and then we'll make even more profit. And they all seem to suffer the same fate of mismanagement.
Boston Market did that, like when it was Boston Chicken. Remember, first it was called Boston Chicken, then they changed it to Boston Market, and the exact same thing happened. All the fucking stock price went through the floor because they're like, let's open 1,000 restaurants.
Yeah. They were everywhere. There was one in my hometown, Long Island, and I think there's one, if I remember, there's one over in the town near me. There's still one. I think I saw it like a couple years ago. There was a Boston Market over there, and I was surprised to see it. Because we
got one.
I used to like
one in this area.
Boston Market was a nice. I wouldn't eat there all the time, but it was a nice alternative to anything else because you can get like the roast, the whole chicken, or you can get turkey, or even like a meatloaf there.
Get yourself some of that cornbread.
Yeah. See, I hate cornbread. That's all you.
You like cornbread, huh?
Nah, not a fan. They have stuffing, which most places never offer, which I enjoy. I used to love Kenny Rogers Roasters when they were a thing. There was a few on Long Island that you'd go to. The wings were pretty good. And then just like everything else, they overexpand and then they collapse. So this seems to be the problem. It's like, if you look, it's like, we've got 70 locations. We're doing fantastic. Stay at 70 locations. Just don't expand anymore unless there's really enough profit to say, like, yeah, we'll open one more. We'll open one more. And you grow that way instead of we're going to open 900 more stores.
Well, I wonder if some of them are like, or many of them are like Subway, where like Subway has that weird franchise deal.
Yeah, but if you look, there's a documentary online about how they fuck the franchise people that buy this out of there. Because there's no regulation of where they open it. So they can sell you a franchise and you have to buy all the stuff from them and you have to do it in their way. But then there's nothing preventing them selling another franchise and opening it up in the strip mall across the highway from you.
Right.
So they fuck their own franchise people all the time.
Yeah. I read an article recently in the paper that were like, we don't do that anymore, but who knows? Who knows what
But the damage is already done.
Yeah.
And it sucks because Subway is the worst out of all of them. Like, I mean, Blimpie wasn't around that long. I mean, I guess it was, but there's no Blimpies anywhere. Quiznos was good. They were doing that thing where they were toasting everything the right way. They weren't doing the fucking microwave zap that Subway does. It was
Quiznos still around? I haven't seen one in a long time.
I think they're long gone. But now some of these other sub places, I guess, are doing okay, but they're no different than anybody else, like a Jersey Mike's or Jimmy John's, and they all just seem the same thing. Although Firehouse Grill seems to be a bit different. Their menus are different, and the way they prepare everything is a bit different.
Let's see. It says it's still a franchise fast food restaurant based in Denver. Quiznos, that is.
So they're only in Denver?
Let's see.
Remember they used to have those weird chinchilla commercials?
No, I don't remember them.
You don't remember those?
No.
Where the thing had a weird voice. It was talking like this. It was talking like like a weird Mexican Muppet. Let me see if I can find those Quiznos ones for you.
As of March 31st, 2022, there were 176 Quiznos restaurants in the United States and around 200 in 30 plus countries.
Wow. They don't advertise in America anymore because you never hear or see them.
Never. It says they've been the target of several lawsuits related to the treatment of its franchisees, including lawsuits in New Jersey and Wisconsin. It has faced more lawsuits from franchisees than bigger chains such as McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, and even Subway and Blimpie.
Huh.
Oh, they must be real shitheads.
Yeah. Well, here's some of the Quiznos ads that you may remember from the 90s.
Okay.
Ready?
We love these songs!
Dude, I have no recollection of this.
No?
No.
The Quiznos subs!
I like it, though.
They are crunchy, they are warm because they toast them! They got a pepper bar!
Quiznos new Santa Fe Trio subs with smoky chipotle sauce. Fried chicken, roast beef, or smoked turkey.
The Quiznos subs!
Quiznos. Toast.
Yeah, they had a whole series of those weird rat.
I must be
things.
a simpleton because it made me laugh.
No, they were funny. They were funny back in the day. They were just here.
I can't believe I don't remember them.
Here's another one. Hold on.
We love these.
I get to start over here. Sorry, it's being a bit temperamental. Here we go. Yeah, they had a whole series of these.
We love these subs! Cause they are toasty subs! The Quiznos subs! They are so good we need them robot eating roast houses barbaric! We are not the Huns!
Right now, Quiznos world famous Italian sub is only $2.99. It's very fantastico.
The Quiznos subs!
Quiznos. Toast.
Yeah, they had a whole run of these little rat-looking things, chinchillas. Yeah.
That's pretty good. Even as the performer, you don't have to be able to sing.
I thought they were. I used to laugh my ass off watching how terrible that is. but it was a good terrible. You know, there's
Right.
terrible, and then there's like, that is so bad. It's actually, I enjoy it. It's so bad.
Every once in a while, a commercial like that will stick out as just being like they tried something different. You know, it's not the same fucking bullshit of like, look at our food.
I
blah, blah,
give,
blah, blah.
whenever I see that, I give it all the credit in the world, because you're like, what the fuck was that ad? And you go, that's not like everything else. That's pretty different. I'll give them that. Oh, anyway, back to Valley Steakhouse here. Let's take a look at it.
Come on and taste a real good time at Valley's.
Very 70s.
Come on and bring the family down to Valley's.
Mom's haircut.
It doesn't cost a lot to taste the best we've got. Everything's fresh here. The menu's the best here. Come on and taste a real good time at Valley's.
At University Boulevard, exit of I-95 on the south side of Jacksonville.
$7 for filet mignon. That's not bad. I'd go there.
Not a bad deal. They do. I don't know if it's just it's the time or it's the quality of the recording, but I'm like, God, like when all this food looks like shit. Looks like something I'd never want to eat.
Yeah.
I got the
It's it's definitely the.
I got the freshest stuff.
This ad's not stopping here. Sorry. It's definitely weird at the times, because you see more in the 80s. You can definitely tell when they stopped recording on film and started using video. Like, you can see the difference. Whenever they would show the food and everything, it's like, this doesn't look that appetizing. It's $3 for the whole meal, which I'll go for, but it just doesn't look appetizing. Like, they didn't know how to prep the food to make it look fantastic.
Yeah, and they got professionals to do that shit, right?
Right, but I think
that's their only job. Make this hamburger look like fucking, even if you were a vegetarian, you'd want to eat
I
it.
think that's before they realized that they're putting makeup and shellac and all that stuff on the food. So when you see the ads now, when you're looking at the food, you know you can't eat that particular hamburger they're showing you, because it's all painted up and sprayed and everything to make it look amazing. And then you go to the place and you go, this looks nothing like the fucking food on the commercial here. This looks like shit.
Yeah, I'm surprised nobody's brought a lawsuit like a what do they call them?
False advertising.
Yeah, basically false advertising. They're like, look, you advertise this sandwich. I bought this Big Mac. I compare it to the Big Mac that I see on TV.
Yeah.
And it looks nothing like it.
Nothing. On my Instagram, E-Rock Radio, you can dig to around last summer when they brought the McRib back, right? And I always kept telling people, it's like, oh, the McRib's coming back. The McRib has not been good since it initially came out, right? Every time they brought it back, it's been terrible, and this was no exception. I ordered the McRib. I wanted no onions, just, the sauce and the pickles. Open it up. There was no sauce on the riblet. It was just all like big chunks of onion. That was it. Yeah, it was. It's disgusting. They just it falls out. They fake everything. But going back to these commercials, they didn't know how to paint all this stuff up. So they're showing you the actual food, and you're going, ew, that doesn't look good. So, there's a reason why they do things, or maybe make the food actually look good. Instead of in advertising, have it be presentable at the restaurant. Excuse me.
Yeah. What's the word I'm looking for like a lawsuit that's spurious, not serious, starts with an F? Why can't I think of this word? It's driving me crazy.
Frivolous?
Frivolous. Why can't I think of the word frivolous? How old am I getting?
It happens. It's not even old. It's the times. There's times when I was going to do something, and then like Giddles will text me. He's like, "So what time are we at Good for 8 tonight?" I go, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Oh my God, it's Thursday. We have to do the radio show." I forgot I lose track of time. Want to jump back real quick to Fast Times in Ridgemont High, because it does show up on this list here. There's no ads for the place, but I'm just going to read this to you. So the All-American Burger was a Southern California fast food joint. While it was never more than a regional establishment, the All-American Burger became famous because it was featured in the 1980s teen film Fast Times at Ridgemont High. The final location was closed in 2010. If you're craving those burgers, though, you just happen to be located on the East Coast in Massapequa, Long Island. I know this place very well. Establishments started using the same name and logos, the All-American Burger. It has been open since 1961 and is still serving the same delicious burgers to this day. This means there's nothing stopping us from going to our burger. You get the who cares? Yeah, I know the place in Massapequa. It's right off of. Is it Montauk Highway or Sunrise Highway? I forget. I know where it is. I just forget what road it's on. But yeah, they're pretty well known. Like, it's one of those spots on Long Island that a lot of celebrities will go to because most of them come from Massapequa.
Right.
Like Seinfeld and the Baldwins and who else? There's a few other people that I'm spacing on. But yeah, this place is pretty well known. This burger place. It's like an old Greasy Spoon kind of burger place that you would see in the 50s. Remember the old Carvel buildings where they like the glass would slant up and be really high roofs and all that?
Yeah.
It's like that. It looks like that kind of thing, but it's a burger place. It's been there forever.
Yeah, we have a Carvel like that near us.
The old-fashioned buildings like that.
The old-fashioned building, yeah.
Yeah, that looks like it's like you're walking into a warehouse or something. Mm-hmm. Next on the list, Mr. Steak. You ever hear of a Mr. Steak?
I have not. The third installment here is kind of obscure. I have heard of very few of these restaurants.
Mr. Steak was very popular in the 1970s, as everything else seems to be. Yeah. If you were born during that time, then this restaurant chain will bring back a lot of good memories. While steak was quite obviously their game, Mr. Steak unfortunately wasn't juicy enough to keep up with the competition. Their main competitors were chains like Sizzlers and Stuart Anderson's Black Angus, which I don't know that one either. Since they couldn't withstand the stiff competition, Mr. Steak eventually filed for bankruptcy in 1987. Before they closed, though, they had a total of 300 locations. That's a lot across the United States. Yeah. If you were part of the 1970s, then this restaurant should definitely be on your list of nostalgic establishments. Yeah, I don't recall Mr. Steak at all ever being in the East Coast. If maybe there was and I just wasn't aware of it, but it's not a chain that I'm familiar with either. Let's take a look at the ad.
I got the freshest stuff in town. I have to. Hey, my best customer is Mr. Steak. Now, those guys are picky about everything. That's why Mr. Steak is my kind of family restaurant. Nothing but the best. I like to think that's why they give me their business.
Flip the potato like he's so
the
debonair.
Sampler platter. It's a juicy kebab of choice beef, a tender teriyaki chicken breast, 7 deep-fried shrimp, steaming wild rice, and soup or salad.
I know fresh. You do too. Go to Mr. Steak.
Mr.
I got the freshest.
What year is that from?
That one was from 1984.
I'm going to find out how much $7 is worth in 1984.
I have another commercial here we can look at, too. This one's from 1981.
Restaurant. We work hard to make sure our service satisfies every single member of every family that comes to Mr. Steak. Then we match our service with our meals.
All of them.
Chicken.
Horrible clothing.
And burgers for the kids. And best of all, tender, juicy steaks. Visit the Mexican.
All right, hang on. One where he says burgers for the kids. Kids, it's not kid. They're treating it like burgers is a kid food. No, it's not. Everybody likes a hamburger. Number 2, when he said and delicious juicy steaks. Look at how this is prepared when he pulls the piece up. Whoops, right there. Look how well done that is.
Yeah, that's too well done.
That looks like a Salisbury steak when you mash ground beef together and like, oh, it's a hamburger steak. No, it's a hamburger poorly cooked.
Visit the Mexican Fiesta going on now at Mr. Steak, 321 East Lee Boulevard, Wilmington.
Oh, Jesus.
Mr. Steak. So $7 would be about $19 today.
Which is probably that's what a hamburger goes for now.
Yeah, really.
Steak is probably $30-something just for the steak, not including the sides.
Oh yeah, I mean they were getting shrimp, they were getting all kinds of shit. No wonder all these fucking places went out of business.
Yeah,
they give away too much.
In
stuff.
a way, you keep getting it. Yeah, it is a bit envious. It's like you get fries and they love to say a cold, crisp salad with whatever your meals here for just $3.99. You're like, do you know how I would kill to go to a place where the food was $3.99? Probably you're getting what you pay for by today's standards. But if you could go back then, it's like, why wouldn't you be going out to eat all the time? You could feed your family of 4 for $20.
Yeah. Mr. Steak again, kids.
Yeah.
You can all get hamburgers.
Dad's getting the urinal cake known as their steak. Druthers. Have you ever heard of Druthers?
Druthers? I don't believe so.
So Druthers, while you're aware of Burger King, you may be surprised to learn that there was also a Burger Queen franchise, also known as Druthers.
Huh.
The chain operated between 1963 and 1981. Based in Louisville, Kentucky, the burger fried chicken joint mascot was a giant bee named Queenie Bee. So you're known for your burgers and your fried chicken, so you get a bee.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's kind of like Jollibees now, but at least bee is in the title, so it makes sense for them to have a bee as a mascot for their restaurant. In the spirit of old school slogans, the restaurant's purposely misspelled motto was, "I'd rather go to Druthers restaurant. Rather go to Druthers. R-U-T-H-E-R. Druthers
Clever.
restaurant. Though the chain is long defunct, one Druthers remains in Campbellsville, Kentucky. It was a list because of the mascots. Okay, so apparently what happened here is that Druthers, I guess in some areas was known as Druthers. In other areas it was known as Burger Queen, which I don't know how you legally get away with that. It's like
it's not the same company?
No, they wound up being bought by Burger King. Huh. But at the time they were a competitor. So it's like Coming to America, where McDonald's was constantly suing John Amos. I forgot his character's name, but he's constantly for McDowell's. He's like, They've got the golden arches, we've got the golden arcs. It's like, it's the same we have the Big Mick. They have the Big Mac. So, I never knew a Burger Queen existed.
No, I never heard of such a thing.
Yeah, like, how was that even possible? I will say this. We're going to watch a couple of the Druthers ads before we go to the Burger Queen ad to take a look at that. But I'll give them this. They did it in the style where they were creative and there was writing and they have a peppy song and everything that goes with it. So it wasn't just the boring ad like we just saw for Mr. Steak, where you come down here and have a steak and blah, blah, blah. And we'll tell you, good old-fashioned family values. All that, it wasn't boring. It was in the lines of like the Miller Lite commercials, where there's something going on, a million different things, and the momentum never stopped. Back again when they put actual effort into their advertising.
When I want my druthers, I can choose from all the others, but I'd rather go to Druthers Restaurant.
When I'm about to die for it,
What?
burgers or french fries.
I'm not getting any sound on this end.
You're not getting sound? All
want.
right, hold on. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. Do that again. Here we go.
When I want my druthers, I can choose from all the others, but I'd rather go to Druthers Restaurant.
When I'm about to die for it, burgers or french fries. Or a salad bar that's everything I want.
It's true the Druthers dish is crispy and delicious.
The chicken dinner's very elegant.
For food that rivals Mother's,
You can just forget the others.
I'd rather go to Druthers Restaurant. I'd rather go to Druthers Restaurant.
See, creative, had a hook, it was catchy. You could say it's cornball, but they stood out. Their ads at least did.
They didn't show you any food either.
They showed
bugging you.
They showed you yeah, they did.
Did they?
They showed you the burgers and the fries. They showed you the seafood platter. They showed you a salad.
I'm sorry. You're right. I was thinking of the last commercial. I think I'm starting to lose focus.
Well, if that wasn't catchy enough for you, here's another Druthers.
Let's see this one.
You know that Druthers is the place when you don't have the time to waste.
Where you can satisfy most any taste you have.
Quick and easy. The chicken is as quick as is a burger.
And the fish is just as quick.
And quite delicious, I might add.
Quick and easy. Get a salad in a hurry. Even breakfast is no worry. What you want, the way you want it, when you want. At Druthers, you'll discover
we're better than the others.
Combine it all at Druthers Restaurant. Quick and easy. I'd rather go to Druthers Restaurant.
He's the Druthers guy, huh?
Yeah.
Because he was their spokesman.
And that's the thing, too. Like, people forgot, because you watch TV shows now, there's really no TV theme anymore. There's a little bit of, like, an instrumental anthem. And the TV intro is only 10 seconds, and then get right into the show.
I love that.
The what?
I love that.
I do, too.
Boom, you're in.
Yeah, I like that. But you also have a fondness because we grew up in that age where you had like a minute intro, you had a full song for the TV show showing you highlights or maybe stuff that's not even in the show that just shot for the intro. Advertisements are so quick and fast. Everyone's just constantly, well, people don't have the attention span anymore, so you got to do it these ways. Well, how about you retrain people to pay attention to this stuff? It's like well, they don't have they're not going to wait around. So why don't you train them to do that? Why don't you go back to some of these things and just recreate these moments so people are forced to listen? Like, stop catering to the worst parts of everybody else because nobody can pay attention to anything.
Well, look at me. Last commercial, I'm like, they didn't even show any food.
The whole ad was food. So to finish up the Druthers here, and I like this too. It's a series. It's the same theme. They just update it as they go. It's familiarity. A song gets stuck in your head. Everybody knows theme songs. Everybody knows jingles. Like whether it's something short like "We Are Farmers," bum 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 like that, or "Good Time, Great Taste of McDonald's." You remember this shit. Instead of flashy graphics and good-looking people, make a shitty TV ad with a catchy song and you'll be famous forever.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you had that whole Druthers thing. So what they used to be was called Burger Queen, which I didn't know until I was going through this list here. Now, this ad features the father from... Were you a fan of Frasier?
Yeah.
Remember Frasier's dad?
Yeah, sure.
Actor John Mahoney? Mm-hmm. He's in this ad.
Really?
Like, it's really weird to see Frasier's dad in there, like this big, tough, gruff police kind of guy, and he's sitting there, he's like, I love fried chicken. And you're like, what happened here? This is from 1981.
Why does a place called Burger Queen have chicken?
It's very low.
The best darn chicken you've
Real low. I can't hear anything.
You can't hear it at all?
I can't hear it at all.
All right, hold on.
Wow, he looks young there, though.
Yeah. Try this again. Let's see.
Why does a place called
There you
Burger
go.
Queen have chicken? Chicken? The best darn chicken you've ever seen is cooking up big at Burger Queen. We've got 2-piece snacks, 2-piece meals, or 3-piece dinners, and they're all good deals. You can buy 12 pieces or the box with 8.
Best darn chicken I ever ate.
So why does a place called Burger Queen have chicken?
Tell me why.
It takes more than burgers to prove we mean something big's cooking at Burger Queen.
That's some chicken.
Frasier's dad, everybody.
It's weird that it's Burger Queen and they focus on chicken so much.
Yeah, well, it's hard to find a lot of these
know.
old ads, so you can only go with what's available online. But
yeah, no, I mean, but at any point they would be like, okay, we're Burger Queen.
Right.
Let's fucking hit them with the chicken.
Yeah, well.
Maybe that's how they got
I'm just
out of it.
amazed that they still were around and like there wasn't an immediate lawsuit and cease and desist, because we're Burger King, which was established long ago, and then you come out with Burger Queen. I'm just amazed that it was allowed to exist. Like, you got to the point that you had official logos and TV ads and everything running for years.
You would think the Burger King people would be like, they called it what?
Yeah.
Like, well, let's get on it.
Let's all invade it and off with their head.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Fucking Burger Queen.
Burger Queen, indeed. Look, there's a lot more, so maybe we have to do a part 4.
Part 4?
Yeah.
Right.
Are you enjoying these?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I've
think they're
really
fun to
been
watch.
enjoying it too, because every time I find something new, I'm like, wow, how is that a thing? But
Right.
apparently it was. All right. Yeah, we've been doing this long enough that we will end it there for part 3. We'll come back with a part 4 of classic restaurants that have been long forgotten. You seem to enjoy this road down nostalgia's way. We should go and do the plugs. Mr. Johnson, what do you have?
I have tellemstevedave.com. Just go there. You're going to find all the social media stuff. And you also find a link to patreon.com/tellemstevedave for more video, more audio, more merchandise than you could shake a stick at. I don't know why you'd want to shake a stick at it, but it's more.
Something they used to do back in the day for an old restaurant. That would be your head if you brought some of that back. It's just you're just standing outside of a restaurant, and what do you go? They have so much selection, fried chicken, roast beef, so much that I could shake a stick at, and I'm shaking my stick at. And they're like,
Yeah,
okay.
I don't like it.
And then the cops come and just kind of walk you off slowly, and the family goes into the restaurant, and then it says the logo, whatever the place is.
There you go.
It's that old guy that shakes sticks at restaurants. Then he discovered fire, and now he's just arsoning.
He's trying to burn the place down. God damn it!
He keeps trying to
won't
use the
stop.
bathroom. We think he's homeless. We throw him out. He just won a lawsuit because apparently that's discrimination.
It all comes down to he's mad that they have too much stuff.
I'd rather go to Druthers. That hasn't existed in 40 years, so.
The Burger Queen. Take me there.
He's just mumbling about old franchises that don't have it. Somebody call his family and get him home. So we will be back next week. Not going to do part 4 next week. We'll space it out a little bit. But we'll be back with some other old man ranting for your consuming pleasure. So come join us next week. Would you kindly?
Shake a stick at him, E-Rock.